Breaking royal news: Princess Leonor marries, Spain reacts in Copenhagen. You know how royal events usually follow a calm, predictable rhythm, carefully planned, perfectly timed, and announced months in advance, giving Spain and the world time to prepare for every elegant detail. But today, everything shattered those expectations. Because in a stunning turn that nobody, not even the royal experts, saw coming, Princess Leonor has just married in Copenhagen. And here's the part that has set Spain into absolute shock. This wasn't a rumor, it wasn't a hint, and it wasn't a royal leak. It happened. Confirmed. Final. And the reactions across Spain are unlike anything we've seen in modern royal history. And yet, the real question isn't why she married today. It's what happened behind the scenes that pushed this moment forward so suddenly, and what Spain was never meant to see. Let's take you inside this extraordinary day. The story begins. The first waves of confusion started early in the morning. Spanish news outlets began receiving whispers, not official statements, not palace confirmations, just unusual movement around the Danish royal grounds. Reporters in Copenhagen noticed unexpected security expansions. Spanish flags appearing alongside Danish ones. Black Mercedes vans arriving quietly, carrying familiar silhouettes under dark-tinted windows. Nobody could have imagined what was unfolding. By midday, blurry images surfaced online. Leonor stepping out of a vehicle in Copenhagen, wearing a cream-colored dress coat that instantly made people gasp. Not a casual outfit, not a routine diplomatic visit. Something deeper, something ceremonial. And that was when Spain collectively froze. Because Princess Leonor, the future Queen of Spain, was not supposed to be in Denmark for anything major this week. Or so the country thought. Now, let's go inside the moment that changed everything. The shocking ceremony. The ceremony took place in an intimate hall inside Amalienborg Palace, a location known for its quiet elegance. But today, it became the epicenter of global attention. Witness accounts describe a scene that felt both deeply emotional and completely unexpected. No massive orchestra, no balcony appearance, no months-long announcements. Just a deeply personal, intensely heartfelt union that felt like it came straight from Leonor's heart rather than the palace calendar. And when the doors opened, revealing the couple standing together, Spain exploded with emotion. People cried, people shouted, people celebrated, and some struggled to understand why this moment was kept so private until now. It was raw, it was real, it was history breaking its own rules. But what really happened inside that hall? Let's go deeper. The first moment that made the world react. Princess Leonor walked in with a composure that felt almost symbolic, calm, graceful, but emotional enough that her eyes shimmered under the lights. She wasn't the young girl Spain watched grow up during ceremonies and speeches. She was a woman stepping fully into her destiny. Standing beside her was the Danish prince, confident, quietly emotional, and visibly protective. Those who witnessed the ceremony say he never once took his eyes off her, even as photographers captured the moment. But here's what truly shocked everyone. During the vows, when Leonor spoke, her voice cracked, not from nerves, but from a weight that only she and her family truly understood. She paused. She looked at the audience. And in that moment, Spain felt the truth. This wasn't a political union. This was real love. And yet, behind that emotional moment was a deeper story, a story tied to family tension, national expectations, and pressures that had been building for months. King Philippe's reaction. While the ceremony was taking place in Copenhagen, cameras in Madrid captured King Philippe's reaction as the news broke. He stood still, listening, processing. His eyes softened, the kind of expression a father makes when he realizes his daughter has taken a step he can no longer guide, only support. Sources close to Zarzuela Palace say Felipe had known for days that Leonor was making this decision. But the timing, the secrecy, that was new. He reportedly gave his blessing, quietly, privately, the way a father does before the world becomes involved. Spain reacted emotionally to his reaction, a mix of pride, nostalgia, and the realization that the young girl who once held his hand at official events had now taken a step into adulthood in the most public yet private way possible. Queen Letitia's unexpected moment. But the moment that truly shook the Spanish internet was Queen Letitia's reaction. When the news cameras captured her response, her expression revealed something profound. Not anger, not surprise, but a mixture of relief and overwhelming emotion. She whispered something lip readers have been analyzing all day. And many believe she said, she chose her own path. A simple sentence. A powerful message. Because for years, people wondered whether Leonor had any room for personal choice within the strict world of royalty. Today, she proved she did. Spain's live reaction, a nation pauses. From Barcelona to Seville, from Asturias to Valencia, people gathered around screens. Bars stopped serving. Offices paused work. Families turned up their TV volumes. This wasn't just a royal moment. This was history, unexpected, emotional, raw, happening in real time. Young people flooded social media with shock and excitement. Older generations compared the moment to historic royal shifts. Royal supporters called it, the day the monarchy became human again. Every reaction carried one message. Spain felt this moment deeply. But as emotional as the country became, there were still thousands of questions unanswered. Why Copenhagen? Why today? Why so quietly? And what does this mean for the Spanish crown? Let's unravel those answers. Why this wedding happened in Copenhagen? There are three major reasons emerging, each one more revealing than the last. First, the relationship between the two royal houses had grown stronger behind the scenes than most realized. Copenhagen offered privacy, stability, and neutrality. Second, Leonor had just completed another phase of military training, a chapter that marked her maturity and independence. Sources say she felt this was the moment when she was strong enough to make her own decisions. Third, Denmark provided a quieter environment, far from the overwhelming spotlight of Madrid. This was her choice, one that respected tradition but also carved out space for personal dignity. The ceremony's most emotional moments. Eyewitnesses describe several unforgettable scenes. Leonor gripping her bouquet so tightly her knuckles turned white. The moment she looked up and smiled through tears, her expression softening instantly. The prince placing his hand gently behind her back, a gesture so natural it felt like they had done it 1,000 times. A brief, emotional hug between Leonor and her mother. King Felipe wiping his eyes discreetly when he thought the cameras weren't focused on him. If you watch the footage closely, you'll notice a moment right after the couple exchanged rings. Leonor exhaled, not nervous, not overwhelmed, but relieved. As if she had finally stepped into a life she had long imagined. The first kiss as a married couple. It was soft, brief, but packed with emotion strong enough to silence the entire hall. And when the prince whispered something into Leonor's ear immediately after, something the microphones could not capture, she nodded softly, pressing her forehead gently against his. It was intimate, respectful, real. Spain replayed this moment thousands of times within minutes. But the real surprise came next. The private family gathering. Instead of a grand reception, the couple chose a small, quiet family gathering inside the palace. Only close relatives. No global leaders. No giant orchestra. Just warmth, laughter, tears, and a sense of closeness rarely seen in royal circles. This decision shocked royal watchers, who expected a lavish celebration. But it revealed something crucial about Leonor. She values authenticity over spectacle. Then came the message to Spain. In a brief recorded statement, Leonor addressed Spain directly, her voice calm, warm, and steady. She thanked the country for its love and support. She acknowledged the surprise of the moment. And she promised that her commitment to Spain, to her role, and to her future responsibilities remains unshaken. This message calmed the nation. It restored confidence. It reminded people why Leonor has always been admired. But there was still one more twist. The final surprise, the couple's public appearance. Hours after the ceremony, the newly married couple stepped outside, waving to the small crowd gathered at the palace gates. It wasn't a choreographed royal moment. It felt spontaneous, almost youthful. Leonor held her husband's hand, something she rarely did in public before today. And Spain reacted with another wave of emotion. People didn't just see a future queen. They saw a young woman in love, confident, supported, and stepping boldly into her destiny. The world reacts. In London, royal commentators expressed shock. In Paris, analysts called it the most unpredictable royal moment of the decade. In Madrid, crowds gathered spontaneously in public squares, cheering and waving Spanish flags. This wasn't just a marriage. It was a global phenomenon, a sign that the new generation of royalty is rewriting the rules. The future of the Spanish crown. Experts agree on one thing. This moment marks the beginning of a new chapter for Spain. A chapter defined by authenticity, courage, emotion, and a queen in waiting who leads with her heart, not just her title. Leonor has shown Spain, and the world, that she can honor tradition while still choosing her own path. And today, that path began in Copenhagen. Spain reacted with shock, with tears, with joy, with disbelief, but above all, with love. Because Princess Leonor's marriage wasn't just a royal event. It was a human moment. A moment of truth. A moment of heart. And as this new chapter unfolds, one thing is clear. This is only the beginning of the story.